working underway. I'm looking to see. Don't think we have anybody who is currently on who needs to be sworn in. So we are good with that. We have a quorum. Tom, do you have the land acknowledgement to pull up? And then
Sure.
I will
Give me
ask.
just a moment to verify that it is streaming.
And once you pull it up, we'll ask Ian to read it as our
Yes.
new old Central Committee member. Well, whatever. Returning.
It's a coming. Running slow. There we go. Okay. Can you see the presentation?
Looks like the pledge.
And then
Oh. Let me change that. Hold on.
Next slide. Okay, land acknowledgement. We pause to acknowledge the Solano County. And back to the pledge.
There we go.
We pause to acknowledge that Solano County Democratic Central Committee of the Democratic Party sits on the land of the Miwok and Patlan people, who remember their continued connection to this region and give thanks to them for allowing us to live, work, learn, and pray in their traditional homeland. We offer our respect to their elders and the Miwok and Patlan people of the past and present.
thank you, Ian. Next up, we have, since we've finally finished our rotation of guest speakers over the last few months, moving on to our minutes. And I believe those went out earlier this month.
Ah.
Well, is there a
I
motion?
move
to
that we
approve?
accept the minutes.
Okay, motion by Paul, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ian. Okay. Unless there's any additions, corrections, or deletions, let's go ahead and launch the poll. Okay. If everyone has voted. If not,
Ow.
please get your vote in. All right. And it looks like we have approval of the minutes. And next up, the agenda for tonight's meeting. Are there any additions, corrections, or deletions anyone wishes to make to the agenda? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve it.
So moved.
Okay. Ian move to approve.
I'll second. This is Paula.
All right. All the seconds. All right. go ahead and cast your vote on the poll.
Okay, gonna go ahead and end the poll.
I would, if everyone who's eligible to vote has voted, or if you've given it enough time, I think so.
It's a minute 30.
Okay.
Passes.
Excellent. Before we move on to public comment, I just want to note for the record that both our treasurer, Karen Rogers, and Harry Birdseye, both communicated to me that they would be absent and but they would have their alternates attending tonight. So I just want to make that note for the record. Now this is the time for public comment. Public comment is for guests to the meeting. All comments are limited to 2 minutes. Additional time may not be granted. Total comment period cannot exceed 30 minutes. Opening public comment at 7:08. If any of our guests wish to comment, please raise your hand. Being no hands, we'll go ahead and close our public comment at 7:08. And next up is announcements. Does anyone have any announcements they wish to make this evening? So please raise your hand. At this rate, we're going to set a record for the world's quickest meeting. I'm not going to.
Don't jinx it.
All right. Seeing no announcements. Moving
Don,
on.
I just raised my hand.
Oh, just as I was getting ready to move on. All right. Go ahead.
Not to burst the bubble, but yeah, I just wanted to, for those who don't know, I've been working with the city attorney, city manager here in Vallejo, with the direction of city council and mayor to have a robust tobacco retail license passed. If anybody wants any information on what that is and what that entails, it is going to be coming up for discussion at a near future city council meeting, although I don't know which one. And hopefully it will pass as designed to be very effective. So just want to put that out there. If anybody wants more information, please give me a call.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate that. Jumping to the treasurer's report, which was emailed out. According to the written report, our federal account had a beginning balance of $2,472.49, received credit of $1,310.09, an allocation transfer from the state account. Expenditures included River City Business Services, $261.58, storage fee of $118.99, and PO box fee of $97 for an ending federal account balance of $3,305.01. The state account had a beginning balance of $3,625.15, The only activity was the allocation transfer to the federal fund, and the ending balance was $2,315.06. The total in both accounts, $5,620.07. And I will just say, if you do have questions about the report, suggest you email our treasurer. Or if you prefer, you can email me and I'll bundle them together and send them to her. Moving on to other reports. I will say that the Northern Solano Club had a very successful anniversary dinner with many other clubs in attendance, and I did appreciate that. The region meeting that was going to be a hybrid meeting turned into a virtual meeting at the last minute and seemed to go well for those who were able to make it. And of course, we had the pre-endorsement conference last weekend for those who were able to participate in that. And as I'm sure most of you know, in State Senate District 3, North Ann Arbor Aliga received 53.49% of the vote. Christopher Walden received 36.43% of the vote. Jackie Elwood received 7.75% of the vote. No endorsement was 2.33% of the vote. So what that means is there will be a second caucus at the convention made up strictly of delegates to the state convention who reside in District 3 to vote on that endorsement. Other than that, I don't have much to report this month. Northern Vice Chair, do you have anything to report?
Good evening, Don and members. I'd like to say my report till I get down to the fundraising committee reports. If you
All
don't
right.
mind.
No problem. Southern Vice Chair, anything to report?
I'm going to try to report. I have a very bad case of laryngitis. I just wanted to make a quick announcement that Assemblymember Wilson will be hosting a district. It's called AD 11 Day at City Hall, and it's going to be on December 4th in the city of Vallejo at the City Hall's office. We will be there from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. There is a time scheduled for city staff to meet with the member and our entire team, as well as time for local businesses and nonprofits to come in. And then also by appointment only, constituents can schedule a time to meet with the member for one-to-one meetings. And what we'll do is, as we get closer to the date, I will send out the information to you, Don, to distribute to the Central Committee members. And if the membership could distribute that information on their social medias as well as to their club members, that would be great. And so again, thank you for that. And as soon as the date gets closer, we'll be able to shoot you some more information. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And hopefully in the meantime, you get yourself some tea or something with lots of honey to soothe that throat. So it does not sound fun. Secretary, do you have anything to report other than the minutes you sent out? What should we talk about later on?
I'm good, thanks.
All right. Information Resource Officer, anything to report this month?
No, just been crazy at work, but here tonight.
Okay, good to see you. And Parliamentarian, anything to report this month?
Nope.
Okay. All right, moving on to our elected officials. I saw the report submitted by Supervisor Williams. I did not recall seeing any other written reports this month. Do any of our representatives for the electeds have a report? If so, raise your hand. Monica, or Supervisor Brown, excuse me, if you're wearing that hat.
Oh, that's fine. Sorry, it's crazy sounds good. In District 2, we had a ribbon cutting on Benicia Road, and that'll be good for the next like 3 or 4 miles. So I'm excited about what's called the diet and shrinking, et cetera, et cetera. Homemakers, we're putting in license plate readers, and also with Homemaker, we are going to be working on using redevelopment money that we've had for a while and see what we can do to improve that section, that unincorporated section. And then just on a positive note, attended the E40 event on Saturday, and oh my, now I understand what magazine means. So that was a lot of fun. If you get my newsletter, there'll be more in it.
All right. Thank you. Seeing no other hands. Moving on to club reports. Is there a representative from the Community Democratic Club with us this evening? Seeing no hands. Jewish Democratic Club. Do you have a report this evening?
Yes, I do. Thank you very much. First of all, we had to cancel our meeting because of everything that's been ongoing since October 7th. We have people that have friends and family in southern Israel, some of whom are missing, and it's just been an ongoing nightmare. We even had to cancel our art meeting tonight by dint of the fact that we're engaged in resolutions in many different counties. We're writing and actions all across the Bay. It's just lots of fires to put out. For the record, I want to say that the Jewish community is in a state of deep mourning and sadness. But also we retain the determination to move forward in the face of this tragedy and to secure the safety for our people in their land. And that is my sentiment as the president, and it's a sentiment that I'm confident our members share. If anyone has any questions about the events of October 7th, or because there's a world of information out there right now, and there's a lot of different things that are being said, I just want to make myself available to anybody in this club that has questions about the events or about a news item. And I'm not saying that I have all the answers, but what I am saying is that you deserve the perspective, and I'd be happy to take time to give it to you. And I appreciate any support that you guys want to send our way during this time. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Northern Club, Progressive Democrats, and Rio Vista Club all submitted written reports. Is there a representative from the Sankofa Democratic Club with us this evening? So, please raise your hand. Not seeing a hand up. Moving on to the Solano Democratic Workers Alliance. Do you have a report this evening?
Hi there, Don. Hi, everyone. Glenn Lovell, president of SDWA. Primary updates at this time, obviously be working as a group in advance of the November convention, particularly with ADEMs and other delegates, looking at issues of high interest, both in the committees and, of course, in resolutions, as was done in our last convention. A big thank you to everyone who collaborated together on the passage of resolutions in our last convention, including one in support of the Unionized California Initiative and many other really important ones across the state. And so we're looking forward to the next rounds on this. Thank you.
Excellent. Stonewall Democratic Club, do you have a report this evening?
We'll be sending it in after this meeting.
All right, sounds good. And I did receive the United Democrats report. So moving on to standing committees, the fundraising committee. Vernil, you taking that one on?
Yes, and Julia go help me out. But from the fundraising committee, we like to present a motion of changing the date because there was so much going on with people being involved with the Northern Democratic Committee, the labor put into that, and I had some personal family illnesses. So we like to put a motion forward to change the date for our award/fundraising dinner to January 24th, 2024. from December 3rd. We just couldn't get it together by December 3rd with things that were going on. So that's a recommendation I'd like to put forward to the committee.
Sorry, January 20th,
What did I say?
the 24th.
Oh, 2024, the year
Yes.
2024. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah,
Sorry. I just want to
Saturday,
make that clear.
January 24th. And we do have a possible change in the venue as well. Supervisor Brown has offered perhaps the event center as a location. We're looking into that. Or do you have something new, Julia?
No, I didn't get an email that had anything about a date. So if it's the 20th, I'll have to ask tomorrow to make sure it's not booked. So,
Yeah,
but tell me what time do you guys need the event? Because I need to have that too.
it'd be from 5 to
Just
8.
email me, Bernil.
Okay, yeah, we'll email you. We just wanted to make sure the date was okay with everybody first before we went.
Well,
forward.
not a problem, but it might not be if the date's already booked. So that's why, that's okay. That's fine, but let me know. So I'll have to do it tomorrow.
Okay, thank you. We have quotes from the caterer. We have things in order in terms of the fundraising dinner. We just need to change that date.
All right, is there any discussion from anyone? Tom, I see your hand up.
Yeah, so is it still going to be called the 2023 awards dinner?
Yes.
Okay.
All right,
If you need a motion, I'll make a motion that we change the date to January 2024.
okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Tom seconded. Any further discussion on this?
Dawn, hold on, sorry. With the understanding that I need to secure the room, otherwise we might have to send out, if we can add kind of a caveat to the motion, that we might have to send out, it might have to be a different date, but as long as we give everybody plenty of notice,
So
because I don't have control over the room.
So based on what Julia was saying,
I'm sorry.
I put a document to the motion as Solano Democratic Central Committee to change the 2023 Award Center fundraiser date to January 20th, 2024 at a location yet to be determined. Is that
Okay.
correct?
That would be fine for me. Thank you.
Okay. Any other discussion on this motion? Margie?
Maybe we could make it more broad, because I know these things are really hard to organize. So maybe January is going to be too soon with the holidays and everything. That's my thought on planning an event.
Do you want to?
You want to say first quarter?
Yeah,
Okay.
or to 2024. I'm something that
Well,
gives a little more leeway. We don't have to propose it every month, a different date.
Okay.
But I think January is going to be hard.
We were
Mhm.
thinking that if we start getting into February and March, it starts getting really heavy into the primary. But we also need to call a fundraising meeting. So so if we can just put it first quarter and then go from there.
The maker of the motion
Oh,
will
sorry.
accept the friendly amendment.
Yeah, that's fine.
Fine with me as well as a seconder.
Okay. Any further discussion? If not, as soon as the poll is ready, we will launch it and vote.
Change the date. Sorry, just getting my English correct. Hopefully it is. I'll be very embarrassed if it's not. Where did that poll go? There we go.
If everyone who's eligible will kindly vote. And I will just add the reminder that we have a vital election coming up next year. And we probably need to think long and hard about ramping up our fundraising, even if we're not renting a headquarters. There are still expenses that come up with an election. So we may need to give serious thought to ramping up our fundraising significantly next year. I think the original thought was the Award Center was going to be our second fundraiser for 2023, and then we would pivot immediately to 2024. And obviously, we're effectively losing one fundraiser if this motion passes. So just please think about ways that we can raise the funds necessary to support our candidates next fall.
Okay, minute 30. Motion passes.
Okay. All right. And with that, you have delegated the decision to our fundraising committee, and hopefully they'll give us the dates soon.
And we'll be meeting within the next 2 weeks. So.
Next item I had on the agenda was presentation of our award nominees, but I have not received any communication on that. I would like to propose that once the nominations are gathered, that we send out a poll via email to the membership and then go ahead and vote on them, because I don't think we'll be necessarily wanting to meet to vote on the awards, but it's up to the membership for your feedback. If you want to have the vote on the awards along with our endorsement meeting, we could do that as well. So, Monica, your hand's up.
Yeah, I go along with the first thought, Don. I move that the election of the awards be done through email and should be separate than the December 16th endorsement meeting or Zoom, however we wish to do that one.
All right. Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second that.
Okay, Ian seconds. All in favor of that motion?
Aye.
Okay. Do we have a poll for that, Tom, or do you want me to do it by voice?
Let's do it by voice, because.
Okay. Well, all in favor, actually raise your hand, either in person or digitally.
Yeah.
Right. All opposed. You know, all those who voted aye, please lower your hands. And then all opposed to voting on the awards recipients via email, please raise your hands.
You still have 2 hands raised that I don't think want to be, because they were raised previously.
Okay. Paul, are you a yes or a no?
I am a no. Aren't we
Okay.
voting no right now?
Yeah. Okay, just making sure. Okay, all those opposed.
I like the idea of doing it with the, on the 16th with the endorsements. I'm pretty sure I'm overruled on that.
Yeah, it appears that the majority is saying we want to vote by email. So we will do that as soon as we have compiled the list of nominees. We'll send that out and vote. Okay. I think
And
you're
just for the Don, just as an update, I just checked. There's only 3 people that have nominated anyone.
okay. Well, you may want to fire it out again to get another round of nominations then.
Okay.
Don't see Bonnie with us tonight. But the legislation committee's final report was emailed out, and Joseph or any other member of the legislation committee, any comments you want to make at this time?
Yeah, she did point out that we're gonna take a bit of a hiatus during this legislative season. I know that there was, she did specifically let me know about the telehealth, veterinary medicine bill that Governor Newsom signed. So I know that was also unanimous. But I don't have any other details besides what she put in the report.
All right, thank you. Appreciate that. Not seeing any other hands up for the legislation committee. Moving on to the outreach committee and the storage unit update. Julia.
You, Don. Tom, you have access to the Google Photo Drive. If you can open it up so we can share the picture. The Central Committee E-Board has decided that we will be disposing of in the least amount of waste, land waste used way. So probably via donations, all of the non-folding chairs. So if these chairs belong to anybody either on this committee or that you know of, please let me know. And as long as you let me know via email by November 8th, I will not send it to the Restore, but I will be getting rid of all of these chairs. So out of the storage unit, they're just taking up a lot of space, and the folding chairs just are much more efficient. So these are the chairs that I'm speaking of. There's 3 office chairs. There is 2 of the gold metal chairs, I believe 4 of the wicker chairs, and then 6 of the wooden chairs. So if any of these belong to you and you would like them back, please let me know. Throw my email in the chat, and otherwise they will be donated. So
Actually, Julia, if you could send an email either to Corey or myself, just repeating what you just said, and then we'll send it out through the entire body.
Sounds good.
And so that people who aren't here get that notice. While I would like the use of the office chairs, and we do have a headquarters, I agree that that's a lot of space being taken up by those chairs. And if we could find a better home for them, probably would be good. Any other comments on the storage unit at this time? Seeing none. Next item had Vallejo USD issues. We have, among other things, a special election. We have contract issues and a charter school proposal, all swirling around up in Vacaville. So I'm going to pass the baton to Corey to start talking about these various issues.
Thanks, Don. Appreciate it. As our chair already said, everyone knows about the special election, which is happening in Vacaville right now. If you haven't been part of a special election, it makes for interesting politicking because we're used to elections that are, 30-40% turnout range. For the first special election, we had about 11. For this one, we're expecting probably 8, maybe 9%. We also had some of the local churches up in Vacaville put out some promotion materials talking about how the opposition candidate is being directly pushed by the Moms for Liberty. And they're already starting to push the opposition candidate out to churches, trying to get them out there and trying to pander to the audience that would be receptive to having a radical agenda placed upon the school. So that's first.
Wow.
And on top of that, we have an independent charter in town, Kairos, that is looking to capitalize upon the changes in the board by attempting to expand from K-8 up to a full high school. Now, obviously, this would severely impact the 2 existing smaller high schools we have, specifically Buckingham and Ernest Kimmy. And needless to say, the teachers, the educators in Vacaville do not want that to happen, but when it rains, it pours. And on top of that, in face of declining enrollment, which would inevitably be the result of pulling 200 to 300 people out of the district, the teachers and educators are looking to are in the middle of a contract fight. Now, it's nothing really aggressive at this point, and we'll know more after November 1st, but to put it mildly, when it rains, it pours. So please be keeping an eye out, and anything you can do to help drone support in Area 6 in Vacaville, it's of paramount importance. All those horrible things that you hear around the state, people showing Nazi symbols at school board meetings in Glendale, people showing up in red shirts and disrupting school board meetings in the north part of the state, all that stuff is coming to the north part of the county. And if we don't stand against it, they're going to win and use my board as a way to groom candidates that can enact that horrible agenda upon the rest of the county and the state. And we cannot allow that to happen. Are there any questions? Thanks, everyone.
Wow.
I will just add to the pitch that our endorsed candidate, Amy Russell, can certainly use all the support you can give her, whether it's your time and energy or your financial contributions to get the message out. As we all know, the election's happening a week before Christmas when no one will be paying attention. So yeah, it's going to be a significant issue. I really would like to ask all of you to help her out on that race. The next time I had was the endorsement convention update. I mentioned the results for SD3 earlier. Of course, the convention will be held in Sacramento on, I'm going to get the dates wrong, I know, November 17th through 19th. And the primary business will, of course, be ratifying all of our endorsements for Assembly, Senate, Congress, and the U.S. Senate. I'm sure those of you who are delegates are already starting to get calls and emails and flyers in the mail from the various candidates on those races. I will simply say, vote your conscience. We may have a 2-person race in either or both, 2 Democrat race in either or both Senate races, or we may have the Republicans sneaking in and getting second place, and thus the election will be over in the primary. But in any case, I'd encourage you all, as you choose on your endorsements, vote your personal conscience. Don't let people kind of push you around on it. I know that sometimes has happened in the past, and people have expressed buyer's remorse. So just want to encourage you to vote the way you see fit and which candidate you see as most effective to represent your values. Monica.
Don, will there be voting on Proposition 1, which appears on the March 24 election cycle?
I have not seen anything mentioned, but I would suspect that there's a probably a decent likelihood. I can't imagine them calling an executive board meeting before the March primary. So I would suspect so, but I've not seen anything one way or the other.
So I just want 30 seconds. The reason I'm going to ask all of you guys to vote no is that I do serve on the Mental Health Advisory Board. What the governor is trying to do is to take money away and still mandate, even though I know legally you can't mandate, and we're not sure how we're going to pay all the bills. So I will send you information. Yes, it's biased, I know, but I've been on this committee now for 7 years. And we were able to get the bill. Well, it's a long, complicated story. Anyway, I'll send some information to Dawn to send out to the delegates, and happy to have a conversation with anybody. It has to do with changing the 1% sales tax on the millionaires, and it's less money that's going to come in to us. So anyway, so it's a very, very big concern that I have in terms of the county, in terms of how we're going to be able to deliver services without the funding. So, because I've not heard either if there's going to be that kind of conversation. So that's a concern.
Thank you. Anyone else have anything they want to bring up regarding the convention? Please raise your hand. Not seeing anything. Oh, Ian, you snuck one in on me. Go ahead.
Don't really have any questions on it. Just, hopefully we'll see everybody there in person this time.
Yeah, and hopefully those of you who are not making the drive back and forth from Solano County have found a reasonable hotel that's somewhere within the same zip code or at least area code as the convention. I know that the official block of hotel rooms disappeared, I think, in approximately an hour after they were released. So, those of us who wanted those were kind of out of luck.
Yeah, carpooling is also encouraged. The parking lots around the convention center are running about $24 per day with no portion of a day. So if you park for an hour, it's $24.
Yeah, that's to be expected. Okay. Brigitte, your hand's up.
Just regarding convention, obviously we'll be sending out info about all the other meetings that we'll be doing at convention, finance committee, resolutions committee, all the other events that are coming up. But I wanted to see, in the past, sometimes we've had a Solano get together at convention. Dawn, are we planning anything like that?
I think if someone wishes to organize one, ideally someone who's staying up there, could consider doing that. I myself saving my money, so I'm not going to be staying up in Sacramento. But yeah.
All right, I'll make it offline, and I'm happy to help organize. It's always fun to get together down there.
All right, Margie, your hand's up.
Yeah, this isn't about that. Before we adjourn, I want to be sure that my new alternate, Marlene Carter, could be sworn in. She's here.
Okay, certainly we can do that. Do we have anybody else who has yet to be sworn in as an alternate? I think we've covered everyone, but.
Hi, Dawn, it's Amber. I don't think I've been sworn in as an alternate. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah. You may have been, you may have not been, but we can always do it again. So I would encourage Marlene and Amber and anyone else who feels the need to take the oath to go ahead and put their cameras on. And Tom, if you pull up the oath. Okay. You would both repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear or affirm.
I, Amber Williams, do solemnly, sorry, say it again.
At the same time?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I, Marlene Carter, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California
All right.
against,
Okay. You want to go ahead and catch up, Amber?
I thought we were gonna go one by one. Okay.
Now we'll cover you
I,
both.
Amber Williams, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California
Against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
That I will
against all
bear true
enemies,
faith.
foreign and domestic,
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States.
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States
And the Constitution of the State of California.
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
That I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion.
that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation, purpose of evasion,
that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
And that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties
upon which I'm about to enter and during such time as I hold the office of Central Committee member.
upon which time I am about to enter and during such time as I hold the office of Central Committee member,
upon which I am about to enter and during such time as I hold the office of Central Committee member.
All right. Congratulations to both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
As my former boss said, you've been sworn in, now you can be sworn out. Does anyone have anything else for the good of the order? If not, I just want to close out by saying for those of you who may not have seen the news, we finally have a Speaker of the House who is Mike Johnson, who is an election denier, a Trump supporter, you name it, he's
COVID
again.
denier.
Which means that, as we've already known, the stakes next year are going to be incredibly high. You know, it's a cliche to say that every election is the most important election of our lifetimes, but obviously we've been on this treadmill now for the last 8 years, fighting to defend our country, and we're going to be doing it again next year. And we'll be needing all of you. So what I want to say to you tonight is take care of yourselves. Rest when you can. Take time out for your mental and physical health. Take time out to be with your families. And store up your energy to help us defend our country in 2024. Unless anyone has anything else, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Monica moves. Ian seconds. All, please vote. And we will see you all for our special endorsement meeting on December 16th via Zoom. Those of you who are not
If not
attending the
before.
convention.
Thanks, Don.
Thank you.
Later.